out of this place if I sing.
Anybody we can get.
Yeah, a little problem tonight.
Want to scare everybody away?
No, I could sit up here and make it look fuller, but I can't sing. They asked me not to sing in second grade. And I can't carry it. And don't know what happened, but
You know what? There's a wonderful book. It's called Sing. No. It will give you all the scientific explanation that you have to write, and it may encourage you actually to sing. And it's very, very interesting. I don't know who this man, never say never.
so far, that's more.
Right. But once you know the scientific reason for it, then the stress level will go down.
I'm not stressed.
Okay. Well,
I sing along with the congregation, but I sing quiet. I join in and I sing along.
it is a good thing.
It is. It makes you practice.
Absolutely.
You're sitting there tonight?
Yeah. Oh,
We're getting
I guess we're here.
Because I didn't do a Sharon, I think Erwin had another health thing today.
Oh dear. Okay. So
Oh, is that all yours? I didn't mean to shove
it's
it at you.
probably mine.
Eric should sit on the other side of you. Yeah, not you.
Oh wait, I have to order. I guess I should move. What did I do with my glasses? I had my glasses. See already. I had my
Do you have one?
somewhere. Yeah, I think I did.
You have that one, but not this one.
There's a lot of books here. I keep taking them away and they keep coming back.
What's happening with me now is lids. I opened a jar, a lid, or I can't find the lid.
Be better off. We didn't have to stand up.
So I think I
One, two. One, two.
So there's no. That's correct. Quorum is actually really nice. There's a spiel where
That's it. You should tell Betty.
Oh, yeah, got a cat shirt.
You mean like here now?
No. At home.
Oh.
Shirts that have cats.
Amazingly, maybe not.
Because we were going to wear those Sunday for quorum and be cat people.
Oh, that's
Cat
interesting.
people.
I'll go shopping.
I've got a cat. I have a cat sweater.
Are you coming Sunday?
Yes. Wonderful.
Be cat people.
I would be very happy. I'm wearing a cat pin.
If I see any.
Amazon.
Yeah, we could do Amazon.
If she's got more than one, she can bring one.
Time to start.
That's great. I'll wash it and give it back. There you go. We're done. Costumes are done.
So Judy, you need one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need one.
Betty, you need one?
I'll see what I can find.
I invite you to be seated. Shabbat Shalom.
Have a few.
Tonight, we begin with the words, Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash, a land flowing with milk and honey. Milk and honey are symbols of nourishment and sweetness, not just survival, but blessing, not just existing, but thriving. When we sing these words, we are not only remembering a physical land, we are reminding ourselves of a promise that life can hold abundance, hope, and renewal. May this music open our hearts to gratitude, a land flowing with milk and honey. Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udvash, 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 Eretz zavat chalav, zavat chalav udvash, Eretz zavat chalav, zavat chalav udvash, Eretz zavat chalav, 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 zavat chalav udvash, Eretz zavat chalav, zavat chalav udvash, Eretz zavat chalav, chalav udvash.
Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to welcome everybody to Temple Sinai for Shabbat services. I'd like to request that everybody please turn off your cell phones or turn them to mute. I'd like to remind everybody that we have AED equipment. We have one located behind the ark on this side of the sanctuary. We have one at the entrance to the social hall in the back of the room. There are 4 emergency exits from this room. One is by the choir loft. One is through the sliding glass doors on your left as you exit the sanctuary. One is by the old chapel in the back with the red exit sign. And one is right here on the right in the sliding glass doors. There's also an exit through the main entrance that you entered into. In the event of an actual emergency, you will be asked to leave the area safely and quickly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi Steve and Judy are finishing traveling this week, but they will be back for our Purim party. And we look forward to Purim on Sunday and Monday here at Temple Sinai. My name is Lynn Weinstein. I'm honored to participate with Cantor Shear, others among us, to lead us in prayer this evening. Would you join me in turning to page 124? 124. It will be a responsive reading with the 2 paragraphs, and I will begin. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Join me, please. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness doubts the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak. Let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Amen. We turn now in our Siddur to welcome Shabbat officially with the kindling of the Sabbath lights. And it is my pleasure to invite Pam Dick, as well as her husband Bruce, who will be doing the Kiddush.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own way, be among those who can kindle light.
Congregation together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidashanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with the mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of the Shabbat.
And Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
We turn now to Kiddush on page 122 and 123. And start with the English.
Baruch atah Adonai. Oh, you want to read that? Okay. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy. Because of it, on it, God ceased from all the work and all of the creation that God had done.
And together.
Okay, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כאילו יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. So Rabbi Steve is away tonight, and I may or may have not thought this would be the perfect opportunity to have a little fun. Not that it's not fun when he's around, but we're going to sing a version of Lecha Dodi that we have never sung before. And yes, it has a little gospel soul to it. I thought we could learn it together, so when Rabbi Steve comes back, we'll surprise him and sing it like pros. You're in for a treat. I have a feeling he's really going to love this when he hears it next week. Are you ready? Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה,
and join together in the Baruch Hu. We are on page 146.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praised be Adonai, to whom praise is due, now and forever.
Be seated for a moment. Yes, thank you. We are turning now together to page 148, and you can be seated for a moment. Please join with me in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher tidbaro ma'ariv arabim b'chochma p'teach ha'orim Avitim, Nachalim, Mes, Machalim, Et Hakochim, Mishmarotehem, Birakira, Kir, Sono. And at the bottom in the English, you are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may reign continually over us. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'arim Aravim. Amen.
Page 150, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Bet Yisrael, Amecha Avta, Amcha Avta.
your custom to rise for the Shema, please join together with Cantor.
If you are lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Page 154, ואהבת. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. יהיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות עבדיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Remember, stronger. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. We're going to talk about strength later, but we are turning the page now in our prayer book to Michamocha, and we will join the cantor when she encourages you to join in.
Page 158. Page 160 for Hashkivenu.
Let's all turn to the middle of page 162 before the next musical piece and join together. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all times. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. And let's hope Cantor is now refreshed to invite you to join Cantor and choir at some point soon. Thank you, Cantor and choir and congregation. In a moment, we will all rise and join together in the sacred prayer of our service, the Tefillah, and you will find the beginning on page 164, and then it flips through the next several pages. Please rise.
Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We are going to continue praying silently. 171. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I want to begin with a very serious theological question. What are you wearing tonight? No, really, take a second, look at what you're wearing. Now, don't worry, this is Temple Sinai, not the Metropolitan Opera Gala. No one is being judged, unless you wore socks with sandals, and then we'll talk later. But here is the question. Why did you choose that outfit? Comfort? Habit? Expression? Because it was clean? Clothing is fascinating. We think it's superficial, but clothing is identity. A uniform changes posture, a wedding dress changes atmosphere, a talit changes presence. I grew up around uniforms. On Air Force bases, a uniform signaled rank, responsibility, courage. But here is what I learned. The uniform doesn't create the character. It reveals it. And in this week's Torah portion, Parashat Tetzaveh, God becomes a fashion designer. Not minimalism, not capsule wardrobe, gold, blue, purple, crimson, fine linen, gemstones. It reads like Project Runway, Mishkan edition. But then it gets serious. The high priest wears 2 stones on his shoulders. And what's engraved on them? The names of the people. Not symbols, not slogans, names. Aaron does not enter sacred space alone. He carries everyone with him on his shoulders for remembrance. Memory in Judaism is wearable. It is not abstract. It is carried. But here is what we often miss. Before the garments, before the gold, before the gemstones, our parasha begins somewhere quieter, with oil. ואתה תצווה לעלות נר תמיד, to raise up a continual light. If you look above the ark in this sanctuary, you'll see a small light that is always on. That light is called the Ner Tamid, the eternal light. It never goes out, not because it is dramatic, but because someone keeps tending it. And you can't wear fire, you can only tend it. Shabbat Zachor is not only about what we carry, it is about what we keep alive. Amalek attacked the strugglers, the weary, the ones at the back, the ones easy to forget. And that eternal light above us says, no one here is invisible. Now I'd like you to do something simple, maybe a little uncomfortable, but turn to the person next to you and just look at them and really see them for a moment. You are someone's steady light, and someone is yours. Now you can look back at me. We all wear something. Some of us wear confidence, some wear anxiety, some wear responsibility. But Judaism says, don't just dress for beauty. Dress for moral courage. So here is the question tonight. If you were wearing the high priest's garments, whose names would be engraved on your shoulders? Who do you carry? Your children? Your parents? Someone grieving? Someone isolated? Someone afraid? In a few moments, we will open the ark and we will read about sacred garments and sacred memory. And then we will stand together and speak aloud the words, do not forget. But before we read them, I want us to feel them, because Torah is not a custom. It is calling. So as we rise for the Torah service tonight, ask yourself, what do I carry? What flame am I tending? And who do I refuse to forget? Let's all rise. We're on page 362.
I invite the Schoenbergs to join me on the bima to be the ark openers tonight.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני
the honor for the first Aliyah, Sydney and Helene Wartell.
Baruch hu et Adonai havarach. Baruch Adonai havarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bacha banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. We're reading selected passages from Exodus chapters 27 and 28.
618. That's the beginning of it.
6:18.
It's the beginning. 618 is the beginning.
6:18. ואתה תצווה את בני ישראל ויקחו אליך שמן זית זך כתית למאור להעלות נר תמיד באוהל מועד מחוץ לפרוכת אשר על העדות יערוך אותו אהרון ובניו מערב עד בוקר לפני אדוני חוקת עולם לדורותם מאת בני ישראל. ועשית בגדי קודש לאהרון אחיך לכבוד ולתפארת. You shall make sacred garments for your brother Aaron for honor and for splendor. ואתה תדבר את כל חכמי לב אשר מלטיב רוח חוכמה ועשו את בגדי אהרון לקודשו לכהנו לי. You shall speak to all who are wise of heart, whom I have endowed with spirit of wisdom, that they make Aaron's garments to sanctify him so that he may serve me as priest. ואלה הבגדים אשר יעשו, חושן ואפוד ומעיל וחוטונת תשבץ מטנפת ואבנת, ועשו בגדי קודש לאהרון אחיך ולבניו לכנו לי. These are the garments they shall make, a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a checkered tunic, a turban, and a sash. They shall make sacred garments for your brother Aaron and for his sons, for them to serve me as priests. והם ייקחו את הזהב ואת התכלת ואת הארגמן ואת תולעת השני ואת השש. They shall take the gold, the blue, the purple, and the crimson yarns, and the fine linen. ועשו את האפוד זהב תכלת וארגמן תולעת שני ושש משזר מעשה חושב. They shall make the apod of gold, of blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and of fine twisted linen skillfully worked. שתי כתופות חברות יהיו לו אל שני קצותיו וחובר. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces attached to its 2 edges, so that it may be joined together. וחשב אפודתו אשר עליו כמעשהו ממנו, יהיה זהב תכלת וארגמן ותולעת שני ושש משזר. The decorated band of the ephod which is upon it shall be of the same piece and of the same workmanship, of gold, blue, purple, and crimson yarns, and of fine twisted linen. ולקחת את שני אבני שוהם, ופיתחת עליהם שמות בני ישראל. You shall have 2 onyx stones, and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betachenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Thank you, Sid and Eileen. Yashar koach. May
And
this
to you.
moment of Torah strengthen you. And thank you for being an amazing part of this amazing place. Thank you. Yes.
For our second Aliyah, I invite past presidents of Temple Sinai, Eric Adams, David Stern, Steve Young, Judy Herman, Judy, is she coming? Good. And Judy Stern, Judy Stern doesn't always like surprises, so I wanted to be sure she was joining me this evening. And let me make sure. Okay, we are here. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach, Baruch Adonai Hamvarach
Leolam Vaed, Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim, Venatan Lanu et Torato, Baruch Ata Adonai, Noten HaTorah. Amen. I invite everyone to look at the handout and read the English together aloud after I read the Hebrew. Zechor, this is chapter 25, verse 17. זכור את אשר עשה לך עמלק בדרך בצאתכם ממצרים. Let's read the English. Remember what Amalek did to you on your journey after you left Egypt. Attacking the weakest at your rear when you were tired and vulnerable, and they
showed no reverence for God.
Therefore, when the eternal your God grants you
rest all your enemies around you in the land that is given to you as an inheritance.
you shall erase the memory of Amalek from beneath the heavens. Do not forget.
Do not forget is the most important.
Here. לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Amen. Thank you, Yashar Koach. Thank you, everyone. Do not forget. We just said 3 very simple words together. Do not forget. Which is interesting, because if there is one thing human beings are exceptionally good at, it's forgetting. We forget passwords. We forget where we parked. We forget anniversaries, except my dear husband David, right? We forget why we walked into the kitchen. We forget where our phone is while we are talking on it. We forget where our glasses are when they're on our face. And yet the Torah does not say, have a nice memory. It says, do not forget. That's active. That's effort. That's discipline. Let me ask you something. Have you ever tried to intentionally forget something? It doesn't work. The more you try to forget, the louder it gets, right? Judaism understands something radical. Forgetting is not neutral. Forgetting is moral. Because what we forget, we stop protecting. What we forget, we stop noticing. What we forget, we stop caring about. The Jewish people are basically a memory-obsessed civilization. Other nations build monuments to victory. We build holidays to survival. Think about it. Passover, remember slavery. Tisha B'Av, remember destruction. Yom HaShoah, remember the Shoah. Yom HaZikaron, remember the fallen. We are the only people I know who won't even eat bread for a week because of something that happened 3,000 years ago. That's not forgetful. That's commitment. But here's the next layer. If forgetting is moral, then remembering is responsibility. Jewish memory is not nostalgia. It is not sentiment. It is not once upon a time. It is accountability. It is conscience. It is a demand. We remember October 7, so we refuse to let evil surprise us again. We remember the Shoah, so we don't become numb to hatred. We remember exile, so we value belonging. We remember Egypt, so we don't oppress. We remember wandering, so we don't ignore the stranger. And we remember Amalek, so we don't attack the weak. Yes, memory in Judaism is not only about the past, it is about the future. It is about who we choose to become. And here is the miracle. For thousands of years, we, the Jewish people, have carried trauma. And yet, trauma has not carried us. Explosions, pogroms, the Shoah, and yet we are not defined by revenge. We are defined by rebuilding. That is not normal in history. That is extraordinary. Most civilizations remember in order to dominate. Judaism remembers in order to humanize. Amalek attacked the strugglers, not the strong, not the front of the line, the back, the tired, the vulnerable, the ones who couldn't keep up. The Torah says Amalek did not fear God, meaning they lacked normal awareness. They did not see holiness in human weakness. So when we say, do not forget, it is not about ancient enemies. It is about refusing to become the kind of society that ignores the back of the line. And here is where it gets uncomfortable, because we love remembering big things. We build museums, we hold commemorations, we post quotes, but the Torah is not asking us to remember in theory. It's asking, who is the back of your line in your family, in your workplace, in your community? Who is tired? Who is falling behind? Who is pretending they are fine? Because Amalek is not just a nation. Amalek is any force, inside or outside, that preys on weakness. Sometimes Amalek looks like cruelty. Sometimes it looks like indifference. Sometimes it looks like scrolling past someone's pain. And here is the paradox. We are commanded to blot out the memory of Amalek, but also never to forget. How does that work? We forget evil by refusing to repeat it. We remember evil by refusing to ignore it. We erase cruelty by building compassion. We blot out injustice by practicing justice. We do not forget by choosing awareness. And I say this not only as our rabbi's partner in leadership or as your cantorial soloist. I say this as an Israeli, as someone who grew up in a country built by survivors. Memory is heavy, but indifference is heavier. Because when you forget who you are, you forget what you stand for. So tonight, when we say do not forget, we're not choosing to live in trauma. We're choosing to live awake. We're choosing to carry our history the way Aaron carried those stones, with dignity, with awareness, with responsibility. May we remember. May we refuse to become numb. May we protect the vulnerable. And may our memory not harden our hearts, but deepen them. Do not forget. Oh, and David, this counts as me reminding you early, okay? Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Cantor. Whew. Let's all take a breath after listening to very deep thoughts from Cantor's share. And we'll begin to turn to Misha Berach in just a moment. If you are feeling like I am, perhaps you want to breathe a little bit. At this time in our service, we will turn to Misha Berach prayers for those in our lives who are feeling unwell this day or this week, or are healing from illness. And I have a list of members' names that I will share with you. There will be the names of loved ones in our congregation that will be on the video screen broadcast. In a moment, I'll ask you to share a name or two that's deep in your heart. But first, I read Adeline Kamai, Aileen Greif, Ann Newman, Barbara Weinberg, Barry Safran, Bob Silver, Dean Savell, Donna Lopater, Elaine Farber, Evelyn Slapin, Vega Goodman, Harriet Meyer, Harvey Casper, Heidi Fisher, Howard Lent, Erwin Botwinick, Jack Crespi, Jackie Kutner, James Hernan, Janet Thaler, Joe Duskin, Joe Greif, Joyce B. Simon, Joyce Israel, Judy Moss, Larry Lopater, Lila Goodman, Lynn Dunton, Marilyn Heller, Mark Vogel, Maxine Arst, Mel Grebler, Melvin Mogel, Nels Miller, Perry Weinthal, Sam Shapiro, Sandy Nash, Sherry Spitzer, Stanley Reef, Steve Levine, Susan Kramer, Susan Mills Richmond, Victor Siegel, Warren Weiss, Zena Wagoner. And as I go around the room, please recite the names, if you choose, of loved ones who you're wishing special blessings this week. those of you who are joining us remotely this evening as we join Cantor.
You may remember that we have sung this melody before. It's one of those tunes that lives in your heart, even if your mind needs a little reminder. Our beautiful choir is going to help guide us back into it, but we truly need your voices on this one. For refuah shlema. Let's all sing from our hearts. One more time. When Moses cried, hear Miriam, this I pray. When Moses cried, hear Miriam, this I pray. When Moses cried, hear Miriam, this I pray.
In a moment, we are going to raise the Torah and return it to the ark. I call Eric Adams before he sits down to assist in raising the Torah. I had planned to, but not with this on.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום. משפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
For those who can remain standing, please do so as we turn to Kaddish. If it's difficult, please feel comfortable to be seated. We will be turning to page
598.
Yeah, I heard sounds everywhere. We will be turning to page 598, but I share with you the observance of recent deaths within our congregation family and friends, including Loretta Allen and Stanley Shanker, as well as Master Sergeant Ron Givio, who was the last hostage to be released. Also, Rona Brayton, Phyllis Richmond, Gerald Schoen, and Claire Shares. Plaques along our sanctuary walls include lit memorials to honor the annual honor for the following loved ones: Corrine Grauer, Dale Brody Zeitz, David B. Clarer, David Greenberg, David Reamer, Estelle Schechter, Esther Mintz, Esther Wiesenberg, Henry Silberman, Herman Sheikovitz, Erwin Gassman, Isidore Wall, Jenny Stillman, Mac Tosh, Major Robert D. Jassen, Marvin Schiff, Rachel and Sidney Broadman, Raymond Leibowitz, Rebecca Aaron, Rebecca Treister, Robert E. Cohen, Rose Kenny, Ruth Presser, Sharon Lynn Lowe, Shirley Golden, Shmuel Novick, Stanley Jackenthal, Sylvia Levy, and Wilfred Radkin. Others who we remember as family and friends include Arlene Ames, Beatrice Botwinick, Betty Cotton, Genevieve Goodman, Heschel Lieberman, Howard Klein, Irving Hurwitz, Jack Corman, Jack Pearl, Janet Weinstein, Joseph Friedman, Josephine Koch, Morris Silver, Reuben Stumacher, Rona Leibowitz Garfinkel, Rose White, Ruth Ventry, Sarah Miller, and Solomon Klein. As I gesture toward you, if you have a name to share with this congregation, please feel comfortable doing so.
be out of Richmond.
Joe?
I was about to say that Joe asked me to share with everybody that he heard that musician Neil Sedaka passed earlier this evening. All right, we join together in Kaddish on 598.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לאלו מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
May the one brought blessings throughout our centuries bless all who we are remembering on this Shabbat evening. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of my co-president Betty Adams and myself, we'd like to welcome and thank Lynn Weinstein for leading us this evening, along with Cantor Shear, Tom, and the Temple Sinai Choir. This evening we have a number of people to thank. Laurie and David Weiss-Welchin and Bonnie Winograd, Torah study in honor of Temple Sinai members in support of Lila Goldman's recovery. And just to let everybody know, Lila made a big step forward this week, and she is hopeful, as Laurie said, to be here for Purim. Barbara and Mark Elson to the Roof Fund in memory of Sue Pollack. Robert Silver to the Torah study in memory of his father, Morris Silver. Carol Pollack, Shabbat service in memory of her father, Erwin Gassman. Naomi Tapper to the Roof Fund in memory of her daughter, Samantha Cohn. Joelle and Pearl Siegel, Shabbat service, food pantry in Oneg, in memory of her father, Jack Pearl. Adrian and Jerome Fisher, Shabbat service, in memory of Adrian's father, Saul Klein, and in memory of Adrian's brother, Howard Klein. Annette Shapiro Security Fund, in memory of her father, Ed Salvo. Marcia Fleischner, Shabbat service and food pantry, in memory of her father, Charles Rosh, and in memory of her uncle, Leo Staus. Joy Simon to the food pantry and Kiddush, in honor of loved ones added to the Misha Berach list. Paulette Ballin to the Kiddush Fund, in memory of her husband, Mark Ballin. Jill and Neil Broadman, Torah study in memory of their daughters, Rachel and Sydney Broadman. Mark Sickles and Pam Nadler, in honor of what would have been Mark's brother Alan's 65th birthday. Edward Ames, Oneg, in memory of his mother, Arlene Ames. And Susan Mills Richmond, Torah study in honor of her birthday. Tomorrow morning, we have services starting at 10:30 and Torah study at 12:30. This evening, Fred Simon will be coming up in just a moment to give everybody a little start to our kickoff campaign for the Yellow Candle Project. Sunday, we will have Purim on Broadway. The spiel is at 6, and Humantashen to follow. According to Joe Duskin, if you are wanting to attend the pizza and salad party prior at 5 o'clock, he will take your reservation tonight, the last possible night. Monday at 7:30, Erev Purim, Rabbi Steve and Cantor Shear will be telling the story of Purim with actors, laughter, and groggers. Rabbi's Basic Judaism series starts this Thursday, March 5th at 3 o'clock. Please, if you're interested, just let the temple office know on Monday that you'd like to attend. And next Friday night at 6:30, we'll have a family Shabbat and Purim celebration. If you know a family with young children, they're more than welcome to attend. They could attend in costume, and there will be hamantashen for everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, one more thing, please. I'm sorry. This evening's tzedakah is going to our 2 food pantries, which we support every month. Anything you could do to help alleviate hunger in this community would be deeply appreciated. Fred?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. The cantor and I must have been on some telepathy tonight because she asked a question earlier about what you're wearing. I'm wearing yellow. Also, she talked about do not forget, and that's what I really want to talk about. Tonight, we're going to begin our Yellow Candle Project for the 2nd year. It's going to culminate with the Yom HaShoah service on April 17th. Firstly, we have a lot of new members since last year, and I want to speak for a second about what it's about. This project is run by the Federation of Jewish Men's Clubs, which currently encompasses 1,400 men's clubs throughout the U.S. and Canada. FJMC provides men opportunities for personal growth and to build strong relationships, and they accomplish this through celebrating Jewish learning, traditions, and culture, and engaging over Israel, combating hate and anti-Semitism, as well as mentoring the next generation of leaders. The project is a simple one, but very meaningful and important. All members of the congregation may have a yellow candle to light in memory of the Shoah. The candle may be lit on the eve of Yom HaShoah or at the Shabbat service the following Friday. To be clear, you are not purchasing a candle. We are hoping you will make a donation, multiples of chai, but any donation will be accepted. These donations will do 3 things. They will help defray the cost to us for purchasing the candles. Secondly, it will help the FJMC continue their work. And thirdly, it will help a local organization with their work to ensure that the world does not forget. Last year's donation was given to the Anne Frank Foundation. This year we will stay local and we will donate a portion of the donations that you give to the Holocaust Memorial of Miami Beach. Some of you may have been there and you know how moving an experience that was. They're in the process of putting together a learning center at the site for educational purposes. Brotherhood voted earlier this month to donate to this organization this year to help with that effort. Everyone who attended the service last year was, quite frankly, in awe of the candles that were lit in unison in the front of this sanctuary and covered the entire front of the sanctuary. There must have been almost 100 candles lit. It was most of the most moving and meaningful things that we've ever seen at a service. So we hope you will all take a candle and make a donation to this worthwhile cause. I'll be handing out candles with a letter from Rabbi Moss following the service tonight to anyone who wants one. The letter will also have instructions on how to donate. Myself or another member of Brotherhood will have candles available at Shabbat services and other temple events through the service on April 17th. We hope you will all be generous and help support this worthwhile and important project. Shabbat Shalom.
We will conclude our service with Oseh Shalom. I would love for you to join me in the choir. Israel אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. אמן. שבת שלום. So elegant. Oh, why not?